All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome once again. Happy 2021. Everything's all better right now. It's 2021. 2020's all gone. Everything's good, right? It's a new year. It's new new everything. Everything's supposed to be better, right? Everybody was excited about 20.
If I wish there was like a window behind me and you just saw like a dumpster rolling by on fire.
Yeah, because the dumpster is still on. The dumpster is still on fire.
Can we do that in post?
I'm not that good at editing, Emily. Barry might be able to, but not me. I can add a dumpster fire picture next to your video, your camera.
Yeah, the dumpster is still on fire.
Yeah. So
the metaphorical dumpster in my life.
All right, let's chill out here for a few minutes, get some people joining, share with your friends. We appreciate it as always. Facebook, YouTube. I'm doing them all tonight. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I said, what the heck?
We got nothing to lose.
We got nothing to lose. So, Kim, happy 2021 to you. Let's try and make it a good year, right? We can at least be optimistic and hopeful.
By the way, I'm
hopeful.
A facial, and then I'll be good for 2020.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the second half of the year. First half,
yeah.
I'm not just hanging on until like September. What is it? 5th.
Let's at least get to January 21st, and then.
Or as everybody was saying, it's going to be December 31st was going to strike midnight, and it was going to be December 32nd, 2020. So, hey, Michael. Hello again, as always. Thanks for joining. By the way, we got this StreamYard started this new little pop-up theme. Everything like pops up all fancy. Like that? Does that look cool?
But
fancy.
It's always
fancy?
Done that.
Well, no, it's just
fancy.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm paying for this thing, so
I'm losing my mind because I'm pretty sure it always did that.
Well, no, before comments just kind of came up. It's got this cool little animation now. See?
Oh.
Universal fan. Happy holidays.
I'm just here.
Happy holidays. Christmas is over.
It's officially Halloween again.
Yeah. Here at ThrillGeek, it's official. Oh, what did I hit? I just hit something and I made a noise.
I never took down my Halloween
decoration. The countdown has begun to Halloween Horror Nights 30.
Yeah. Let's not jinx
Except
it, Barry.
we don't have an actual date, so we're just like...
Yeah, let's not jinx that yet.
Yes.
We have houses, but that's it so
Sweet
far.
Little babies just sitting back there.
By the way,
did you guys see that the
We
prop shop has the Beetlejuice chairs in there now?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The what?
The ones the last room of the tribute store where it was like the waiting room.
Yeah.
There was the ones with like the legs. That's there, and then the one that's like burnt. That's like $400 in the tribute store.
Why?
Come on, Emily, get on it.
People just buy that kind of crap. So.
By the way, I told my...
How many years?
Imagine being in the corner of your living room and just having like the burn.
Talk about a conversation piece.
How many years did it take for that horrible Chance?
You leave that sweet baby alone. She can't help the way her horrible face looks. Someone finally buy it.
Oh, are you talking about the one that was in the corner forever?
The one with the straight jacket was fine. The one that was like the actual 26 costume just was like pure nightmare feel.
Yeah.
I remember every time I walked in there and looked at her, I was like, stop, that's creepy. The way you're looking at me.
My dad actually wanted to buy it. He was like, you think it's still in there? Like when like the parks reopened, and I was like, I'm not going to find out.
I still want that. I think it's down in the Lakeland antique store or something like that, where the arcade cabinet ended up. I want that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like those went fast, the few ones they had.
Yeah, that Lakeland antique store, they got one, though, and I'm like, I want it. I don't know what I'd do with it, but...
Shove it in Jordan's room.
Yeah, here you go, Jordan.
Yeah, I've been getting rid of stuff, so I don't need any more stuff. I've got a bunch of HHN stuff already waiting to be framed and hanged, so...
I told my dad I'd make him... I already showed it to Barry and Emily, but for those of you watching, my parents graced me with a pretty cool... let me put it up here front and center. I have it plugged in, so I can't go too far.
I was about to say, don't blind the audience, sir.
You are blinded. this cool little on the air LED like plexiglass sign. So I told my dad he wanted to see it behind me for the podcast, and I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to find some place
because hold it up the whole time.
We literally just got home a few hours ago, so I'm for now I'm making my dad I promised him I'd show it off, and it's got my grubby fingerprints all over it right now. So
the joys of having children.
Yeah. So, but that's really cool. I'm hoping one day if and when we get there, we're all back recording this podcast together. That'll be something cool to have up somewhere. So
should we start the podcast?
Oh, we're doing a podcast? I thought we were just hanging out tonight.
That's basically
yeah.
it.
So
what's going on?
What's going on? As far as the podcast tonight, super chill episode. We're gonna talk. We are gonna talk about some things. We're gonna talk about Gideons. Can we just do a podcast on Gideons?
Wait, does everybody have a Gideon's cookie that they can slowly snack on?
I just finished the last one that Barry gave us, so it's in my belly.
We don't have any left except for the ones in the white chocolate ones, the December cookie in the freezer.
Oh, did you like that one?
Yes.
Okay. James,
save it for the podcast, children.
Just asking.
And a couple days after we recorded the last podcast,
did you like the Krampus one?
Yeah, it's good.
I am so jealous. A couple days after we recorded the last podcast episode of 2020, Super Nintendo World, Nintendo Direct, they had that thing. So we'll quick chat about that, give our thoughts about that. And then pop culture stuff. We're going to chat about Mandalorian wrapping up season 2. We'll chat about Soul and some other stuff. We'll just hang out, have a good time. For those of you in the chat room, as always, please chime in, comment. We always enjoy your guys' comments, criticism. We're big boys and big girls here. We can take.
Please yell at me.
Please yell at Emily.
I can take it.
No, if you're watching the live stream, comment. We always enjoy interacting with you guys throughout the live stream. And so give me a second here, and we'll get going. Let me shut everybody up here, including myself. Mute. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ThrillGeek Podcast of 2021. I'm Clint.
I'm Barry.
And I'm Emily.
Hello, and welcome back. How's everybody doing?
I feel
Did we survive
refreshed.
New Year's Eve?
I survived the apocalypse, so I have that going for me.
I worked.
Did you, though, really?
No. Everything's fine.
Did you really survive? Did you survive I never got the update from you. Did you survive you and James's syncopolis with the sink nightmare?
Oh, yeah. Our sink broke for like a day, and then we fixed it like adults. We're doing
Did you get it
fine.
fixed? Did you fix it yourself? I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm so proud.
Thanks. It's almost like we saved money.
Was it super easy, though? Was it something like when I was messaging with you on Facebook?
We had to like replace a few parts, but it wasn't extremely like rocket science. It got pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, there's no flooding, so we're doing fine.
That's always good.
We're doing great.
Anyways, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2021. We're here. We're alive, and we're gonna chit chat about some goodies tonight. Just kind of hang out, have a good time. Some stuff has gone on, and we're going to chat about it. So, Barry, Emily, what have you guys been up to? Besides working?
Besides working, going to the parks, since we have a platinum pass. So it's been easy to get a reservation for everything. So
you actually got into Magic Kingdom. I was shocked.
Magic Kingdom and
how was
Hollywood
that?
Studios.
Yeah.
I know you've been on a roll.
No, I mean it was enjoyable. A little bit busier leading up to Christmas, not as busy. Like almost like actually less busy than it had been in a while. Week between Christmas and New Year's, a little bit busier.
Excuse me for a second. I'm trying to adjust my
We
microphone
were at
here.
Magic Kingdom New Year's Day, and it was definitely a lot busier. Whereas we were at Magic Kingdom Christmas night, and it was amazing and also freezing cold, and it felt like Christmas. So
that was so awesome. I was so glad. Like Christmas Day, we got Christmas Day weather.
Yeah.
Me being from New York, I was like, "This is amazing." Everybody's like, "No, no, no." Bring back the warm.
Albeit I'm not the biggest fan of having to wear long underwear underneath my
I don't
jeans.
Wear long underwear.
You're a long underwear person. Can we talk about this for a second? Why? Where
because
does
if you're outdoors in 40-something degree weather nonstop, it gets a little cold. I mean, when we went to Japan 2 years ago, we had to wear long underwear the entire time because the warmest it got the entire time we were there was 51 degrees.
So it's just like what are the?
You know when like your legs get really cold and you're like, wow, I wish I was inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm trying to because I really don't want Barry to show me his long drawers, but
I don't want that either.
It's what are the shirts that keep you warm? What are those called?
Well, yeah, I do have like the Uniqlo Heat Tech shirt.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I have one. They have a specific name. I can't. Thermals. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, thermal underwear.
Thermal. So is that
underwear.
basically what you're wearing?
Yeah, that's
I'm
what you're wearing.
so glad we're starting this.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. This is quality content.
And I've got like the Uniqlo stuff. It's like Heat Tech or something. It actually It actually just doesn't insulate you. It actually
I was just curious. Okay, we can move on from this conversation. Yeah, I don't want to know too much.
Just when you're outside for that amount of time in the cold like that, especially the cold here, that's a damp cold. Wearing just jeans usually doesn't cut it. It's,
yeah.
It's
that's what I was looking.
People walking around with buying blankets when they're at the parks because they're freezing to death.
No, that's what I was looking for was thermals because I have thermal shirts and I know they have, not to get graphic or anything, but they have thermal underwear.
I still get away with wearing a hoodie. But
Emily, this is going to be the whole podcast, okay?
Underneath that hoodie,
I'm just going to go.
Underneath that hoodie is like a Heat Tech shirt, a regular shirt, a thin fleece jacket, then the hoodie. So I was
going to say, where does the hoodie come in? Because I know the hoodie's there somewhere.
Yeah, well, the hoodie, that way the hoodie gets to be worn last, and everyone still gets to look like I'm just wearing a hoodie. Because we got to take every opportunity to wear our 20 different hoodies that we have.
20?
When we have I'm not allowed to buy another hoodie until I get rid of 3. So
I've gotten to that point to where I buy one and I have to get rid of one. I did that myself, like mentally. I was like, okay, Clint, if you buy a new hoodie, you have to get rid of one. And I've come to that. So, anyways.
I still remember the one time Barry let me borrow one of his hoodies, but it was like one of the ones that he had like thrown in the corner of his closet, and he was like, "Here you go. This is good enough for you." And I was like, "Okay, thanks."
I have a lot of hoodies.
That was fantastic content, John. I don't know what you're talking about. This is why we do this podcast, talking about Barry's thermal underwear. Okay.
The only one that experienced it at Disney Springs.
Yeah, the Disney Springs one.
Yeah, I'll give you
I've been experiencing Gideons for the last 3 years. So
Barry's like, Disney you Springs amateurs. Version. I've never experienced Gideons. I know they had the one up north. I knew about it. I just never gotten up there and experienced it. But Barry, Cookie Santa Barry, graced us on Christmas Eve and bought us some Gideons. And
did anyone else eat them besides you?
Cheryl, she's been, and Connor, he had some. Jordan, he didn't touch any of it because he'll eat a Chips Ahoy cookie, but he saw that we ate the chocolate chip one just now before we started recording, and we were kind of, we have a knife and we cut it apart and look because it's a task eating one of the it's a task eating one of those things.
It's a half-pound cookie.
It's a chore
with 3 C's.
Like, it's not like an Oreo or a Chips Ahoy cookie you can just grab, and be done with it in a bite or two. You have to sit down and,
No one should be eating that in one go. I don't care
You
who
can't.
you are.
There's no way. And I'm a sweets connoisseur. You know, I can down a butterbeer ice cream waffle cone in like 30 seconds, like
it's
that.
True, I've seen it.
The most I've ever
person.
done is eat a half a cookies and cream one in one sitting, and even that was pushing it and albeit the cookies and cream is probably the smallest out of all the cookies, you know, but it's. I
have to say, I think the 3 that you gave us.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cookie, we put them in our fridge because I looked up on Gideon's website and they say for short-term storage, you put them in the fridge. If you're going to eat them within, you know, they don't say, but X amount, I would give it, you know, a few days. A week at most. Then long-term, you put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
And so I put them in the fridge, and I think the cookies and cream one like absorbed some of the stuff we got in the fridge. And it wasn't bad, but I don't think it was the way it was supposed to.
You got to wrap it tight.
They weren't sealed up. It was partly my fault.
I mean, they even did that at Disney Springs. They kind of just loosely wrapped it and threw it in a box. So.
Well, that's what I did.
Well, that's how they come.
The 3, but we did do the chocolate chip one tonight, and it was really good. Just the regular chocolate chip one. Yeah.
So how was you know Gideon's, you know, with their stores, starting with the first one at the East End Market, they sort of each store has a backstory and a specific design. You actually got to go into the Disney Springs store. So how was that?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, so many people gave me crap about it on the internet, and I was just like, whatever, it's fine. Because even the way that they have it set up, technically not now, because they just announced that they're temporarily closing it.
I just saw this, and I just saw this tonight. They were temporarily closed. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, 2 theories about this is either it's something COVID related, but I doubt that. I just think it was pretty much a soft opening so they could rake in profits for holiday weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
and then kind of see what they could change.
There was some people who said, "Oh no, employees said it was going to stay open until the grand opening," but there was other reports that they were only going to be open for a certain amount of time, and then that this was basically, hey, we're going to be open, you know, soft open for a certain time during the holidays here, and then we'll have the grand opening in January.
Yeah, so I really wouldn't worry about it. It's honestly, and I saw somebody post about it online too, probably being like, yeah, hey, when it first opened, there is a 4-hour wait. You have a very big capacity. It's probably just closed to, you know, put more registers in there, figure out a different way to set that up. So I wouldn't be worried about it.
And it's really small on the inside too, right, Emily? I was going to ask you what's the inside like of the one at Springs, because you were there.
So the process of it, at least for people that aren't aware, is at least right now, or you know when they reopen, is that they do have a virtual line queue. Which was super easy. There was 2 people ahead of us, so we just literally got in the tiniest line ever, signed up. They have one of those waitlist apps, and you can actually check on your phone to see where you are and how long it's gonna take. So we just walked around. My boyfriend got some beers. He was happy.
James got some beer.
Wow, what a shock. We actually went to the CityWorks pour place, and they're really good. They're kind of pricey, but they were super good, so we enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, I keep wanting to eat there, but then, God, you look at those menu prices. You gotta
justify it, yeah.
And then you're just like, I don't know, $20 for a burger. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta justify it. But we actually got called back early. They estimated it for an hour and a half wait, and we got called back in an hour, so that was cool. But then you kind of wait in a line outside, and then you get closer to the actual building. And I just think the guy that was standing outside just kind of sensed that we were cool, spooky people. Because he was like, hey.
That you were cool, spooky people?
I'm getting to it. Because he was like, hey, just so you know, we were playing with a Ouija board last night, and we let some demons out, but we didn't have some time to clean up. So you cool with that? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then we walked through the door, because I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And I'm like, okay, cool. Because I've been to the one at the East End Market, and it's nice, but it's not themed or anything like that, really. So you open the door, and this looks like a freaking occult museum. And I was all about it, because it's you don't really have too much spooky stuff outside of Halloween Horror Nights and Halloween and stuff like that. So it was very unexpected to walk into like a bake shop and it's spooky and like the lights are kind of flickering and you can hear like whispers and there's like creepy paintings on the wall. So that was really cool. It is very tiny in there. So I completely understand why there is such a long wait for it, because even with
it's literally like a hole in the wall.
You can probably have at most maybe 10 guests at a time in there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty tight. When you're walking up, you see like the counter and they have all the cookies laid out. They also have cake slices available. They do cold brew coffee. I actually grabbed these guys for people on the live stream. Little Gideon's things, and on the back
I wanted the Krampus shirt.
Yeah, the Krampus shirt was really cool, and on the back they show you exactly what they have on the menu, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, you basically just walk up, you order your cookies, your cake, whatever have you. They have a really cool little effect by the register that almost looks like you're putting your hand through fire. It's not actually anything, I just think it's like a smoke effect.
Is that little blue flamey thing that you posted on Twitter or whatever it was?
Red. Yeah,
that was cool. I was like, what is
it looks
that?
like fire when you walk in. You're like, what the? I gotta put my hand through that?
Yeah.
But yeah, you walk up and it's completely harmless.
That's cool.
It's just like one of these like cool little things that you weren't like, I wasn't expecting any of this when they opened the door, and I'm like, this is spooky. I love her.
I'm here for spooky.
And I messaged my two girlfriends and I was like, hey, so it's really spooky in there, and they're like, oh my god, when can we go? And we like immediately set up like a girls' night at Disney Springs just to go to like the spooky cookie place. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I mean, that's why I said too, like on social media and everything, where everyone's like, why don't you just go to East End Market? And I'm like, I've gone and I love going there because I love all the other things like Domu and everything in that area. So we do enjoy going. However, I am very glad I went inside there to see the spooky atmosphere and to see what they did with it. And just the building itself is really cool. It looks like kind of like a rustic bakehouse, but they have like gargoyles and stuff on the top of the building. So it was just awesome. It was a nice experience. And yes, technically we came out there to like cover it. But I got cookies out of it, so I really can't complain.
Cookies are justifiable for everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's
just give me cookies.
I will say I'm impressed, slightly surprised that really for the cookies and the cakes, they're only charging $1 more.
So it wasn't bad.
Their normal price. And
I did spend $19 on cookies though.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, it's that's just, it's not your typical cookie. It's not a regular cookie. It is basically a gourmet item, and it's worth every penny.
That's why we got the holiday
at $6, it's worth the money.
And that we kind of made like a pact for each other. Like me and my boyfriend were like, okay, so anytime we come here, let's get like the specialty cookies then. Because you can get your traditional, like they have I'm reading it right now. The traditional ones are original chocolate chip, peanut butter crunch, pistachio toffee, cookies and cream, and triple chocolate, which yes, you can normally get. But for
I scrolled through their specialty like holiday ones on their website, and they got some crazy ones. The holiday one is
Santa's White Christmas, which I didn't have. My boyfriend had, and he said that was obviously a white chocolate cookie, but it had like hints of coffee and stuff in there.
It's very
good. He really liked that.
Yeah.
And I had the Cookie Von Krampus, which is basically it's like a giant Andes mint cookie, which was amazing.
Looks so good. I was so jealous.
Anything for mint. And then they have a specialty coffee cake type of cookie, and that's only for Disney Springs.
Yeah, the coffee cake cookie was one of their monthly cookies, and for the Disney Springs location, it will be their exclusive cookie.
Yeah.
And every month there's a different cookie. They're known for their cookies. Their cake slices are freaking amazing, and they're huge. They're so rich, and
I saw somebody I guess at first said that the Disney Springs didn't have the cookie or the cake slices, and turns out they do.
Have them, they have them in the display cases.
They're very limited. Once they run out of the cake slices for the day, they're done. I mean, and oftentimes, at least with the East End location, if you came in the afternoon, all the cake slices would be gone.
Pretty much gone in the afternoon.
Specialty cookie is always gone.
Yeah.
In the afternoon.
They used to sell them at Polite Pig too, but I don't think they do that anymore.
No.
I remember they did. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited. Those of us in Orlando have known about Gideon. Been fans of Gideon's for a while. So I mean, like I said,
just go for like the spooky atmosphere if you want to feel something spooky in your life.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I haven't been over there yet, but I'll definitely get out there one day and check it out and pick up some more because I'm hooked. They're really good. There were people on Twitter and everything saying, "Oh, it's overrated," which is typical for theme park Twitter.
I mean, I made a joke being like, "Did I really get in line for a cookie?"
Yeah, they're good. They're really good. So. There was a lot of hype before I tried it that I had seen, so my expectations were high and they were met. They're really good cookies. So,
And we went in the morning too. We got probably in line around like 10:30. We were just there just to return stuff anyway, so we wanted to go there before all those crowds hit. But yeah, if you don't want to wait very long, just go right when they open, get in that virtual line, and you'll be in and out before you know it.
All the virtual lines. Everything's a virtual line now.
Yeah.
Speaking of virtual lines, Super Nintendo World, which actually has gone into, from what I've heard, has gone into previews, and some video has leaked of Yoshi's attraction online already. And apparently Universal Studios Japan is being very, very strict about no filming. I haven't seen any video of the Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge yet, so they must be like, I don't know if they're...
The only video I saw was somebody like filming through the tunnel into the actual land itself, and that's it.
Yeah, I've seen a few tidbit clips here and there of around the land, but nothing of Koopa's Challenge or it's still up there on YouTube. Somebody's got a full POV of Yoshi's Adventure.
And the interesting thing is like seeing that video of walking through the tunnel. I think one thing that Universal, with Wizarding World and now this, they have really,
no,
really.
CJ, we see you.
They have really pulled off the reveal, like in a way that Disney can't even really match anymore. None of them have met. Pandora's, Galaxy's Edge, Toy Storyland, all that. None of it. Cars Land may be the only one that's got the next best reveal.
I mean, I think it was even cool though too, because like I didn't really grow up with Mario or anything, so I don't kind of have like that connection to it, but my boyfriend did. So I was like, "Oh, babe, look at this video of him filming it," and he's like, "Oh my god, it's so cool." He's like, "Are you going through? Oh my god!" Like, and he's freaking out, but it's like that's who it's for. It's for the people that grew up with that and everything. So it's just so cool seeing those type of reactions, and that like size of the tunnel is just brilliant.
I was only like a Harry Potter fan of like watching the movies, but I mean, I probably said it before on the spot. I will never forget the first time walking into Hogsmeade and just like my jaw being on the floor.
I was sobbing.
And tears coming down my face because it was so amazing. And that's one thing Universal, I think, has really excelled at is the reveal when you walk into these new lands.
And I think that was one thing that given the only thing that can really compare in Galaxy's Edge, if we're talking about reveals, is walking up to the Falcon.
Yeah, going.
That's the only one from the certain correct way you have to come in.
Yeah, you have to come in over there by Toy Story Land. And because if you come in from any other way, it's not that grand of a reveal. But
it's definitely like whenever I bring someone new to Galaxy's Edge now, it's like, no, we're going around this way.
Yeah.
And
yeah. But this reveal for
Super walk with like your hands over their eyes.
All right,
like 10
ready?
Minutes.
Open your eyes on the count of 3. But no, this reveal for Super Nintendo World, walking through the green tube, and then coming into that one room, and then walking out that archway, and everything is just there, is just unbelievable. I was really curious how they were going to theme because nobody's ever seen the inside of a green the green Mario tubes. What do they call them? The green tubes. Nobody's ever seen.
I have no idea about any of this stuff.
Nobody's ever seen the inside of one, but yeah, we got more details about the interactivity within Super Nintendo World with the power-up bands, which looks. This is some really cool stuff. The the thing that Miyamoto did with the POW brick and the turtle shell.
Yeah.
And the turtle during the demonstration, that was so freaking cool. But the interactivity with this is just mind-blowing between the Universal Studios Japan app integrating, you're going to be able to collect your Mario coins and everything. And then they showed the secret underground level. I didn't even know that was a thing. Because they've been pretty tight-lipped about details about Super Nintendo World. They haven't. Universal nor Nintendo have gone out and said, here's everything that's in here. They've been very slowly talking about this land and
they haven't yet to show really anything from either attraction.
Yeah, they didn't show anything, especially from.
I'm okay with that. Like, I'm in that weird camp of I'm supposed to report the news and all this kind of stuff, but at the same time, we have so much of this culture now that is just, what it looks like before you ever experience it. You know exactly what, is going to go on for this ride and all this twist and turn unless you stay away from, everything on the internet. So it's kind of this really nice period of just not really knowing too much about this unless you would actually physically go out and experience it for yourself. I enjoy that.
They're keeping this Koopa, the Mario Kart ride, I'll call it that, just under tight, under, they're not talking about it, which I don't know if they're waiting to do another Nintendo Direct where they do talk about specifically this attraction, which I wouldn't be surprised if it happens because this one did really well as far as the people that watched it and everything. And then we got to see the main restaurant, which is Canopio's Cafe. If I
think so.
They showed off the inside of the restaurant with the green tubes and some of the food, and it's basically Toad's Cafe. That's basically what it is. And you walk in, you see Toad back there making food, like he's making food for the restaurant. And they showed off some of the food, the Mario burger, the salad. I forgot I think it was the caprese salad.
Yeah.
With the little Super Mario mushrooms in it. It was so adorable. I was like, oh my God, the food's ridiculous. And then the characters are, at least the ones that they had in this video. And I'm guessing these are the ones that are going to eventually be meeting guests in the park. They're articulated. They blink and their mouths move, which really surprised me. That was another really cool thing. That Universal's finally, because Disney was the first one to really get into articulated characters with eye movement and mouth movement and that sort of thing. And I don't, from what I can recall, I don't think Universal has done that yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
But I can't think of any Universal characters that are
squirts glitter out of its butt.
Yeah, the troll that squirts glitter out of his butt.
Diamond.
And I mean, there's Donkey, but he's not really a
puppet.
He's a puppet, yeah. So it's it's really cool to see Universal getting into these articulated characters. But
Disney took our articulated character away from us. Talking Mickey.
Oh, Talking Mickey, yeah.
Oh God.
So no, it was really cool to see Universal, getting into the whole articulated character thing, which was really cool. But yeah, no, I was blown away by this video. This was really our officially closest look yet at Super Nintendo World, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait a while before we see anything here stateside with Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
Didn't they break the ground at least at Hollywood?
Oh no, they're building the mini version of it in Hollywood.
I've heard Hollywood is going to be really small. I heard
it's literally I don't know if you're familiar with the layout of that park, but there's if you go to the bottom lot, there's Transformers, and then there's a tiny corner next to Transformers, and that's where they're shoving it.
I literally heard it's probably just going to be the Mario Kart ride and maybe the gift shop. But we're supposed to be getting the full one that Japan's getting at Epic Universe.
Plus
when that happens,
plus one additional attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rumored Donkey Kong coaster. So it'll be. I'm excited. I will probably not get over to Japan before that one opens up here. Barry might, maybe, most likely.
Bye.
They open
Who
the
knows?
borders?
Who knows? Yeah. So it looks really cool. I have a few friends, like my brother-in-law. He's huge into Nintendo, and I was actually chatting with him today about it, and I asked him what he thought about it, and he's it's the detail is unbelievable. Like just all the movement. This was the other thing, was the movement. Just all the stuff moving and the coins spinning and the the bob bombs, that are in the underground part, they can explode. And that was really cool. The part where it explodes and it makes it look like you're shrinking down to pre-Mushroom Mario. It was so cool. I was cheesing out the whole video. So, anyways, that was that was it was it. It was a really cool little preview. I hope they do another one and get into more detail. Show me this Mario Kart ride, because that's what everybody has been. That's the ride that's gonna make this land. And so I'm hoping we get more because it opens up on February 7th, I want to say, at Universal Studios Japan.
Sure. The
grand opening, February 7th, February 9th, something like that. Oh, early February. It opens up at Universal Studios Japan. So they got about a month to go. So I don't, we'll see if something else comes out of the pipeline of another live stream or anything like that. What?
February 4th.
February 4th. I was close.
Yeah, we will.
We're professionals.
We will hopefully have Chris from TDR Explorer on again. He has been there.
Yeah. I'd love to have him on.
Not allowed to really reveal anything yet.
Are people allowed to talk about it? Are they like telling people like to?
I don't think they have to sign like an NDA or anything. But
don't say anything.
You're not supposed to post anything.
I know you can't post anything, but I mean, like, is it like?
Obviously, I don't think he's really talked much about it so far. So.
Oh yeah, I remember when he had us on when we had him on the last time. He said they've been, kind of strict about bloggers and vloggers posting stuff, and I would imagine with Super Nintendo World, they're going to be even more strict because it's not even open yet. So
so I mean, it's we definitely will have him on in the future, hopefully, and
when he's when it's after grand opening and he's allowed to go full steam ahead with it, I would definitely reach out to him, have him on again. So anyways, what movies have we been watching, guys? What?
Yeah, I mean, we really didn't do like a pop culture wrap up this year, so it's like
there wasn't terribly too much.
I know. I mean, I already watch a lot of TV, and I know 2020 I probably watched more TV than I've ever had. To the point I'm like watching anime again for the first time in a long time. So
it'll be good content for this podcast. Barry, you said you enjoyed Wonder Woman 84. I haven't seen it yet. Twitter and social media.
Know my husband Pedro Pascal is in it, and that's all that matters to me.
Twitter and social media have completely torn this movie apart to the point where I don't even want to see it. But I'm going to watch it as soon as I get some free time. So, I mean, if you want to spoil it, I'm not.
I'm not going to spoil anything. I enjoyed the movie. Was it perfect? No. Was it as good as the first one? No. It's more in the vein of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. There's no cynicism. There's no wink sarcasm like often sometimes there is in the Marvel movies. It was just her straight up being Wonder Woman, which I mean, it was. The sort of the first movie, love was seemed to be like, the key to the story. For this one, it's sort of like truth and doing the right thing seems to be like the like sort of key and message of this story. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's my biggest complaint is it didn't really fully take advantage of the 1980s setting, and you would think like the soundtrack would be loaded up with 80s music. It wasn't really.
You mean like no retro wave, like HHN retro wave for me to watch Wonder Woman kick butt to or something? What's that look for?
It only had like a couple of pop songs in it.
That is.
It had the usual Hans Zimmer score, which I love his Wonder Woman theme anyway. It's just a great theme. I enjoyed it. You know, did it once again have a CGI? DC's biggest issue are these CGI night endings, final battles that they always have. Which if anyone knows the story of the first movie, that was basically DC sort of forced Patty Jenkins to do that. You know, it wasn't originally supposed to end with Ares in a suit of armor and stuff because he's a god. What does he need a suit of armor for?
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I thought Kristen Wiig was great. Pedro Pascal just chewed scenery the entire time. People who are used to him are going to see him
so much. I almost knocked my
him.
I was going to say Emily's breaking her microphone over her.
I mean, he's a very over the top '80s businessman type of thing. I feel like the story was set in the '80s for a reason because I don't think it makes sense with the story. But I don't understand such the hate that it's getting because I have seen movies way worse, and I've seen superhero movies that are way worse than this one.
Can we really get any worse than Batman versus Superman or Suicide Squad though?
X-Men: The Last Stand.
I was gonna say X-Men.
The Wolverine.
Thor: The Dark World.
By the way, did you see they added the Wolverine to Disney Plus?
Yeah,
it's on the recently added.
All the
I was like, oh, let me watch this right now.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather take X-Men Origins Wolverine over the Wolverine.
Yeah,
I may be in the minority here, but
I mean, they're both sort of I think the biggest issue with X-Men Origins Wolverine is they waste so many characters.
Wade Wilson.
Yeah. I mean,
I haven't gotten around to Wonder Woman 84 because I've been Cheryl and I have been trying to get caught up on Cobra Kai because season 3 is now dropped and we're 2 episodes into season 2, so we're trying to get through that. That's what we're.
Cobra Kai is so good. You gotta suspend disbelief because you're like, if this was the real world and all these kids were beating the crap out of each other, they would all be in jail.
Yeah, it would be a completely different outcome for these kids in real life. But
I just love one of the things I love the most about the first season is they keep inserting these jokes about how karate is so big in the valley. Like football or something.
Yeah, like it's some major sport.
That it's all these kids, except for there's one Asian kid who's doing karate. Yeah. It's all a bunch of white kids and Hispanic kids who are all into karate.
Yeah, but it's so like somebody like people ask me why is it so good? I'm like, I can't explain it. It's like one of those shows where it just sucks you in, and it just it's
short. It's the episodes are only 30 minutes. It's great. I mean, there's some things that are just so stupid about it. It's like, is Johnny been living in a time capsule this entire time? He's never seen the internet.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, come on.
We just watched that episode where he's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
then he looks up like all the hot babes and stuff. He Googles hot babes and stuff, and it's like
how has he even been running his handyman business?
Yeah. It's so fantastic. I love it. So that's what we're trying to get through right now is we're trying to get caught up on that. Now that we have another season, who knows when that'll happen. But I've heard season 2 is really good. I haven't seen too many people post about season 3 yet. So anyways, that's what we're getting through, and we're with having 3 kids, lots of Mickey shorts and The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, and what else? Soul. We've Connor's hooked on Soul for some odd reason, which I'm fine with. I don't have an issue with. But he has plugged into Soul and he loves it. So speaking
Emily,
of which,
before we get to that, what have you been watching?
Oh God. Since this whole pandemic thing, I binged the entirety of Dexter, Grey's Anatomy, which is 15 seasons. And I'm currently on
2 seasons of Dexter.
Yeah. I'm currently on season 5 of Criminal Minds.
You're going down.
Going down the
has
CBS procedural.
Yeah,
tunnel.
Netflix has been my friend during this, my depression friend. Basically, anything I saved on my watch later, I'm like, well, I watched it.
Well,
so
there's my.
We're caught up there. I still have to watch. I think I'm gonna torture myself and watch the 4th season of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Even though it's basically Buffy now. So
I mean, we've been watching. We finally getting around to watching the 4th season of Better Call Saul.
I haven't seen that.
Like and we started watching Bridgerton last night. And normally we don't binge stuff, but we've already gone through 3 episodes. That's been really good. I've been watching anime. I know I'm sort of late to the game. I started watching Naruto. I'm on the 2nd season of that. The best one I saw was one called Kakaguru.
Let's just do a podcast episode.
It's
basically an anime about a high school where everyone gambles, and your status at the high school is based on how good of a gambler you are.
Interesting.
And it's actually very good. So.
I thought I was weird for the last week of just watching like old park walkthroughs of like 2007 Hollywood studios, but watching Barry have a stroke right now actually was.
Hey, I'm enjoying watching anime again because I haven't really been watching a lot of it lately. It's like,
is there a lot of it on Netflix? Are you watching it on Netflix, or what are you watching it on? Yeah,
there is a ton of anime.
Is there?
There's like a whole section.
Interesting. I didn't know.
Hulu has a lot of anime now too.
Yeah, so. I've seen some anime on Hulu, but I've never really looked into like what Netflix has as far as Japanese anime goes. That's
when I was really hardcore into anime, it was like Neon Genesis Evangelion, which I'm still afraid to watch this new this new version of it. That's now on Netflix, and of course, Cowboy Bebop's like one of the all-time best animes.
Hello, Coaster FAQs. Thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Appreciate it.
So let's
talk about. Have you guys been playing games or anything, or just movies?
Yeah, I've been playing. What the heck's that game called?
He's going to brag now.
I'm going to brag
PS5
about what?
Yeah. New Xbox.
With my Xbox.
New Xbox.
My Xbox Series X.
Did you get the PS5?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
I canceled it. I was like, I'm going to be a good boy and let somebody else have it. And yeah.
I'm going to wait till it drops at least another $100.
Yeah, that might be why I wait too.
My consoles when they first come out, so but, more power to you.
I've been playing Cyberpunk and I've been enjoying it. Unlike, the issues, I feel bad for, the people that have been having this game for the PS4 and the Xbox One because of all the bugs and everything. Because, those of us that have been playing it on PC and Xbox Series X and PS5, it's a fun game. I've been loving it.
James said that he wasn't going to get it until we had a PS5. He's
like, I've seen. I get it. I get why people are upset. And it sucks, because it is legit it's a really fun game. Like it's like GTA meets like, it's like the best. It sounds cheesy. It's a cyberpunk GTA. That's what I basically heard about it. It's really fun. It's a fun game. And all the stuff that you can do and all the missions and everything and how you portray how your character does affects certain things, and it's a really cool game. It sucks that they had this crappy launch with the PS4 and the Xbox One consoles with all the bugs and everything. It's unfortunate because the game's really fun, and I hope they get everything figured out and all the bugs and kinks worked out because I'm enjoying it. It's really cool. So I've been spending a lot of time diving into that when I can with 3 kids, which is I get the kids to bed and I sit down and play and I play for 30 minutes and I'm done. I can't stay up until 1-2 a.m. and play video games like I used to. I'm getting too old for that crap. In a little Call of Duty Warzone here and there, and the typical I fired up Halo because Halo was.
Of course you did.
Of course
they
you did.
they redid 4K 120 hertz, made it all pretty and everything, and so I wanted to go back and check that out and see how it looked like, and it's cool. So, been playing my Halo, and that's really it. Been playing spending a lot of time playing a Cyberpunk. So, it's good stuff.
How about you, Emily?
Me, even though I played it earlier this year, I'm revisiting. Well, I already did Last of Us, like the first one, but now I'm playing Last of Us Part 2. And I don't know if either of you played that, but it's brutal.
I played Part 1.
Yeah, second one, you definitely need to take like mental breaks for yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's just so hardcore and brutal. Basically, they said the first one is a story about love, and the second one is a story about hate. So there's some part of the games where you're like, jeez. This is happening.
I've had the itch to play some Resident Evil lately. Like, I need to see if like there's a Resident Evil on the Xbox Game Pass or something, because I've had like this itch to play some Resident Evil lately.
James plays those. I can't. I'm a weird person when it comes to like post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, I really enjoy Last of Us because it's more about like foraging for items, and if you don't have certain things, you're screwed.
The game design is really cool with that game. Yeah.
And it's kind of not like I'm a weird person with realism kind of when it comes to games. Like with Resident Evil,
we know you're weird, Emily. You don't have to tell us.
It's a given. But like with Resident Evil, like, even just getting like pots and plants and stuff like that for health is kind of weird when, with Last of Us, you're like covering yourself up with bandages, or you have to like eat snacks in order to survive. So it's just interesting things like that. But that game is a lot, and I definitely need to play like a Lego game or something.
A Lego game. They're so much fun.
For like
I love
my own
video games.
sanity after this game, because I love Last of Us. It's just brutal.
Yeah.
I've been playing Animal Crossing.
See, that's what I'm saying. I need to go play something like Animal Crossing at the end of this.
I play Animal Crossing sometimes, and lately I've dove back into Planet Coaster. Just sort of watching anime, and then also that's game you can watch something on TV and then continue making and adjusting your park the entire time.
Speaking of trying
to keep up with the free games, Epic.
I was about to say, did you get the free games for Epic?
Some of them, they do have Jurassic World. Is it Jurassic World Evolution? Which is by the that's free till I guess for another hour and a half. I did get that. I might try that. I haven't played that one yet.
I think the only one I got out of the free games for last month was Alien Isolation for James, because he's just a big old alien nerd. So
is that the one where you build your own Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Park or whatever it is?
I think so.
Jurassic World Evolution.
I haven't played it.
I think I got that for the Xbox, and it's fun. It's like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but Jurassic World, and like the dinosaurs come loose and they can terrorize your park.
Basically, Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah, it's basically Zoo Tycoon, but with dinosaurs. It's really cool. It was fun. So, and I played Planet Coaster for Xbox too, which I'm not big on the building. It's really hard with a controller. Those are very keyboard and mouse games to me.
Yeah.
And I tried Planet Coaster on the Xbox, and the controller setup is very intuitive. I kind of liked it. It wasn't too bad. But I've never been a fan of those games where you have to build like cities and parks and that sort of thing on a console. It's a very keyboard and mouse game for me.
Yeah, it's hard to do those type of games.
Advantage of those games, and I sit there and I just hit fast forward and I let my park run into the ground.
Emily's like, screw this.
I just want to see fire.
If it's Roller Coaster Tycoon, I just start drowning people. I pick them up and I drop them in the water. And they're like this.
I usually, if it's Zoo Tycoon, I let the animals escape, and I just like let the lions like run around and like shake them around and like throw them.
I mean, that's the thing with Planet Coaster is like especially if you have a good gaming PC, it's like the graphics are so good, and it's like you can build like a photorealistic park. I mean, it's if you watch when you watch some of the POVs on your coaster that you build, it looks like something from, that a real park has released a POV.
That's the thing with Planet Coasters, like the detail. Like I watch some of these parks and coasters that people build, and the detail you can get into on Planet Coaster is insane. Like,
oh yeah,
some of the like you can do triggers to trigger like explosions and water effects, and it's insane. Like some of the stuff that these people build on Planet Coaster. More power to them. It's really cool.
I don't have the time to do that. I mean, I built some of my own coasters, and then I go on like the Steam store and get like the different pieces that some other person has created. So,
meanwhile, I'm like the other end of the spectrum, and I'm just like hanging out on Roblox with like all these boxy looking crap, and I'm just having fun and like going through like, I don't know if you guys did it. It was actually pretty cool. They had like a Horror Nights type Roblox thing.
I saw it. I never.
Yeah, it was really good. Like they actually recreated the houses from 2019.
Yeah,
and like wall to wall scares and everything like that. And there was a few times I'm like walking and I'm like, obviously I'm like, ooh, this is so cool. But there's like actual times I got jump scares. So you guys are like playing realistic Planet Coaster, and I'm looking at like block people.
I saw I saw the Roblox HHN thing. Like people were posting video. I think you did.
I bought a frequent fear pass. With Express, so I could keep going through it, because you actually have to like wait in lines in Roblox. I found very interesting, me being a 27-year-old playing a game for children. I was like, I don't want to wait in lines. I'm an adult and I have money and I can spend it on the internet, so I bought myself an Express pass.
So, all right, really quick here. We were talking about what we were watching and everything, and obviously the two big things that have made their debut and wrapped up, and so to speak, have been The Mandalorian Season 2 and Soul. So, Barry, what did you think about? Let's talk about Mandalorian first. What did you guys think about
Mandalorian?
Yeah. Do we want to talk spoilers, or do we want to tread lightly?
If you have not seen The Mandalorian
Season
2, please leave.
We saw this, yeah. We saved this for the end of the podcast, so let's, spoiler warning. We'll chat about it.
The back half of the whole season, better than the first season. The back half of the season was just like jaw-droppingly, amazing. From Ahsoka to Boba Fett getting his armor back. To
Boba Fett.
Yeah, no. I mean the episode, where it was basically the three of them battling stormtroopers while Grogu was in his little meditation thing. It was I think the first episode where like I think almost the entire episode was shot outside.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Robert Rodriguez. And it was Boba Fett being a badass even after all these years. And that final episode, it's like none of us thought they'd do it. I mean, going into that, I don't think anyone, but man, that X-Wing showed up and you're just like...
See, I was like kind of confused a little bit, and then I saw the gloved hand and I was like, it's happening!
I mean, it was like the X-Wing show. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, there's a bunch of different people could be in an X-Wing. But yeah, with that gloved hand, I was like, and then once the green lightsaber lit up too, that was just like, holy crap.
I just kind of started bawling at that point, so I don't really have too much of a memory of it, just tears.
And then when Mando takes off his helmet and says goodbye.
Oh, I mean, the episode with the return of Bill Burr's character was freaking insane.
Yeah,
Barry's like, I'm so excited about Mandalorian. I'm gonna swear.
That chase alone was just nuts. And then to see, and the interesting thing was too, we got to see some of it from the other side. The Imperials, it was hilarious seeing all those stormtroopers cheering and stuff when they arrived back. It's just like, but it's funny to see it, the way you got to see like the way that they viewed the rebels, that they were terrorists, but the irony now is the Imperials that are left, they're the terrorists now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because the only people left who are still, on the Imperial side are basically like fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only people left. But that final episode, just so much going on, so much lore there that of course people are always like, what's the deal with the Darksaber? What do you mean you can't just give it to her? What do you which that rule is a little
But see, that's like where it's interesting storytelling then, because so many people have been like, well, what are they gonna do now that Grogu's gone? What are they gonna do? And it's like, number one, it was always called the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And two, you basically just set up then a third season of this like power trial between him and Bo-Katan, and like if he's actually going to accept now basically what he's been given with the Darksaber.
If you didn't get the idea from the introduction of Bo-Katan that the direction that this show was going to be the Mandalore was going to be them returning to Mandalore to take back the planet, then I don't know. They practically beat it over your head that this is the direction they're going.
To actually tie in something from before that we were talking about, like what you've been watching, I've actually found a new YouTube channel called Star Wars Theory. And if you actually want things like deeply explained to you about the Star Wars universe, this guy makes like videos daily about it. And he makes a crap load of Mandalorian videos. So if that is something that you're interested in learning more about, I definitely would check that out.
As long as the videos aren't like an hour long, I need a recap.
3, 4, 5 minutes, and he gets through them pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I like it.
I mean, the only disappointing thing for me, season 2 wise, is the Gallery season 2. That's only one episode, and then they just totally don't talk about the final episode, the main part of the final episode.
I'm kind of hoping that they maybe do release more. But I feel like that was something that they like maybe filmed before everything kind of shut down.
I mean,
that's the only thing they got out.
I can understand why there's not like the round tables again, like it was in the first season, but that was the only it was too short. It was too glossed over so many things, and it's like, why do you not talk about the one thing we want? The one thing we want to know. It's like the one thing we know. All we know is Mark Hamill was on the set. Mm-hmm. We do know that. But I would like to know.
I kind of thought like, oh, maybe it was a stand-in or a different actor or anything, and then you get to those end credits and it just says Mark Hamill, and you're like,
I mean, it was definitely a stunt performer for a lot of the battle part.
Oh yeah.
But
that was not Mark Hamill swinging that lightsaber.
No.
Or if he ever did.
Yeah, but it's like, I want to know, did they, because ILM, if you ever, the few of us I know who watched The Irishman, ILM created a new de-aging technology that uses the camera to you don't have to put the little points on their faces anymore. They can do it in just with a camera.
They just do it in real time. That's cool.
Yeah. See, that's what I like too about, like, I know a lot of people give a lot of crap of being like, he doesn't look exactly blah blah. Number one, he's not going to. Like, that is the point. You have to work with what you got.
Yeah.
But I was just happy we didn't go like Rogue One Leia. Because that was kind of terrifying when she turned around, because they're basically just trying to impose somebody else's face.
And I mean, I don't know why it's more, even though it's the same company, it's always looked better in the Marvel films than it has when they've done it in Star Wars. It feels like whatever technology they're using in Star Wars, especially with Luke, when he's talking, it's not seeing the muscles in the upper part of his face don't move, and that's the odd effect. I don't even think there's like the dead eye. There's not a dead eye problem anymore. I feel like they've sort of solved that part.
But I mean, if you really look at like the older Star Wars films, like
Luke
ain't doing too much face-wise.
No, but that's all. It looks great when he's not talking.
Yeah.
When he does talk, there's something.
There's a little
slightly
off. It's an uncanny valley.
And like I said, you would think it would be the same technology that's used in the Marvel movies, because I mean, we had Captain Marvel, which was an entire.
You can't tell with Samuel L. Jackson in the movie.
No.
that was really. I forgot that's one. Yeah, that was really good.
I know Clint brought up Tron. Tron 2 the other day, but that was 10 years ago, and that was like
I got crap for that.
I still can't forget that, though.
I kind of regret posting that because, like you said,
it was also one of the first ever uses of that technology.
Yeah. It's not bad. It just obviously isn't where
well, I mean, Clue was a computer program anyway.
I kind of regret posted that on Twitter.
I could
regret a lot of stuff.
I could see you pointing out like the flashback in that movie because that is definitely odd. When you flash back to his childhood and you see young Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
But I think the reason it worked in Legacy is because mostly with the DH Jeff Bridges you were seeing was Clue.
Yeah.
Which he's a computer program, so.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't think I thought that because if anybody knows me, I love Tron. If anybody loves Tron, it's me. So But I kind of use it as a
I mean, it's come a long way, even from Iron Man. What was it, 3, where they de-aged Downey in that scene.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't forgive that.
I'm still. You know what surprisingly holds up well is Chris Evans in the first Captain American movie. The way they shrunk him still actually holds up pretty well after, almost 8 years later now.
If you stare at anything enough, you can kind of start seeing the cracks. But
all right, before we wrap it up here, let's talk about Pixar Soul really quick because that dropped Christmas Day. And we've all seen it. So, Emily, what did you think of Soul?
I mean, I liked it. I know everybody on Twitter kind of went crazy with like their Pixar ranking lists, and if I had to post one, it probably wouldn't be top 10.
Yeah,
but it's not that it's a bad movie or anything. It's just I enjoy Pixar movies more when I feel something, and a lot of people were kind of giving this argument online of like, it didn't speak to me, and then other people would be like, well, how did it not speak to you? It's about finding your purpose and everything like that. So I think it just comes for a lot of different people. It's what you really take out of it.
Yeah, like what you get from it.
I will always bawl my eyes out for Finding Nemo because I have a really strong connection with my mom and it reminds me of my mom. So like it's what you take. But I mean, I enjoyed it. The animation is absolutely beautiful.
God, yes.
It's freaking gorgeous.
The whole like Picasso thing was really cool with some of the characters.
Spoiler, I gasped really loud about the cat joke. I didn't like the cat joke. The cat joke hurt me. But Clint's
I'll have to ask you later what that is because I'm trying to remember.
I'll just say spoiler. It's when Joe and 22 go back to Earth and accidentally gets into the cat's body and the cat goes up to heaven and it's just looking at the eternal abyss in front of it and just goes,
yeah, I remember
like,
now.
No, sweet baby. But I mean, I can't probably be the best person to talk about it. I just wish that I had something more in tune to it, but I know other people do, and that's fine.
What'd you think, Barry?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it definitely moved me to tears quite a few times. Just I love the message of the movie. I love how I know some people were worried, it's going to take so much. It's going to take place in the soul world, and it didn't. And it just really, I'm a big fan of the Pixar movies that are a little bit more, I guess, mature. It's like, probably my favorite is probably WALL-E.
Yeah.
Probably, if I definitely would say if I had to make a list, Soul would probably be in my top 10, because my like we said, my favorites are like WALL-E and
at least it's not Cars 2
and Up.
Jeez.
The ones that make you cry.
Yeah.
The ones that pull at your heartstrings.
And the ones that are, I mean, WALL-E, what is it? WALL-E, the first, is it what, 30 to 40 minutes of that movie? No one talks except for WALL-E.
It's just the robots, yeah. WALL-E makes his squeaks and squawks, but yeah, nobody
I mean, it's just, I love it when Pixar pushes the limits, and it's like, Soul is not a kid's film. It's for everyone, and I love it when they do that.
I loved it. I loved the score. Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor. Come on. I was a sucker for the minute their score came in, and what's his name from John Baptiste. Yeah.
No, it was, and that was a cool contrast too of the jazz, the original jazz compositions of John Baptiste, sort of rubbing up against Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Yeah.
And, more electronic sound.
Yeah, it was really
very much of a contrast.
Yeah, the several times my kids have turned it on. I listened to the movie more, and try to pick out where the jazz would come in, and then where Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor's funky electronic music would go. And it was a really cool combination of jazz and that Trent Reznor sound that we all know that he's scored other movies with. The barbershop scene is one of my all-time favorite Pixar movie scenes. I absolutely loved that scene. The first time I watched it, the second time, it's just it's a wholesome scene, and I absolutely loved it.
I think my other favorite scene in the movie is when 22 and Joe's body is sitting on this. I forget the girl's name, but she's sitting on the stairs with a student, and starts playing, and that's kind of like the sense of like, oh, I'm supposed to feel something here, and I'm actually starting to feel something.
Yeah,
so that was just very interesting to watch that scene as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's for when Sin and I watched Soul for the first time and Wonder Woman, we tried to do it more like we were in a movie theater, turning the lights off, putting our phones down. And I will say this, it as cool it is to watch a major mockbuster motion picture at home,
it's hard.
It's not the same experience. Yeah. It's just like you there's other things, as much as you can put your phone down, you can turn the lights off, but there's things, your dogs, my dogs are there. You can pause it if you need to go to the bathroom. It's just it's still stuff that draws focus away.
Yeah, that's
away from your viewing experience. And it's these movies, I hate to say it, are not going to feel the same at home that they would if you were watching it on a big screen. It's like, I think I said the same thing back in July. It's like, it was awesome we got Hamilton this year, because God knows, we've watched it probably 12, 13 times now. Yeah. But I was looking forward to going to the Dolby Theater, the Dolby Cinema at Disney Springs, and seeing Hamilton on a huge, gigantic screen.
I mean, I'm kind of grateful amazing for Hamilton, though, because I know I'd be sitting in the theater and there'd be like somebody next to me, like whispering all the lyrics under their lips, and I'd be like,
"Stop!"
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for Hamilton too, because and you know this too, Emily, because it's made the
we would have issues getting tickets.
It's made the conversation about filming Broadway come out into the mainstream of look what this can do now. Shots. If you do a pro shot version of a Broadway show, and especially with Disney now, they've really got to be thinking, now is the time.
Well, I think the issue with pro shots too, to go on like a whole other tangent, is with smaller shows, and not necessarily have to be like smaller shows like indie stuff, but even stuff like Beetlejuice, stuff like Mean Girls. Like, sure, if you film it, that's great, and you can have something on a streaming service like Hamilton where you can watch 1,000 times over. People will still buy tickets for Hamilton.
Yes.
Though. A lot of smaller shows like Mean Girls, Beetlejuice, something like that, people will watch it and they'll be like, "Okay, I'm good." And then the show dies.
I mean, we already knew, like, when Hamilton comes around again, it was already going to be hard. It was already going to be hard to get tickets before.
Well, I was actually looking earlier today. I just kind of have like bookmarks on my computer, and I like to go through them and clean them out. And I must have saved both Dr. Phillips and Straz Center just to see like what the lineup was going to be. And they've completely taken every other show off the website except for Hamilton. So
no,
I
mean it's I think especially in Hamilton's case, it's already hard to get a ticket, and and they'll be going on their second go around of everywhere, and I think it's going to be even harder to get a ticket now. Because I mean, I've seen it twice. I already was planning on going to see it again. It's like we were supposed, and I the biggest thing that disappointment of 2020 is we were supposed to go up to New York, in beginning of March, to see Beetlejuice and
I would even love to see a televised version of that, if they.
Yeah, I mean,
they're supposed to do a tour. Who knows when they'll actually do that?
Yeah, I mean, and it sucks because some musicals that we wanted to see got their tour cut short. SpongeBob, and it's
Beetlejuice comes, ThrillGeek trip.
I think this pandemic
I'm there every night.
has shown that the especially anything that's a hit. I mean, even if you're not releasing it till 4 or 5 years later, film the damn show.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Michael just brought up a good point, too. He said he wants to see the Back to the Future musical, which was only in the West End. I believe they did a week of performances before having to close down.
I forgot they even did that. Yeah, the Back to the Future musical. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that they're supposed to be starting it back up in 2021 if they can. But...
Speaking of Disney, wasn't it? No one could confirm whether it was. Didn't they film Aladdin on the West End like pro shot? I had heard.
I haven't heard anything about.
But
that.
yeah, it's. I think Disney, hopefully with the success of Hamilton, now sees, hey, maybe we should film our shows and put them on Disney Plus. It's
Notes taken. Yeah. So
I had never seen
of that.
Yeah, I had never seen Newsies live. I watched the one that's
Not
on
many
Disney.
people did.
Yeah, and I was like, shoot, now I really want to kick myself because I never got to see it because I'm not the biggest fan of the movie, but I really like the Broadway musical.
Yeah, that's an easy way for them to, generate hype is post it on Disney Plus,
Yeah.
People watch things on TV or, and then they want to go see it in person. It's, it's a great marketing tool to have, digital versions of said musical.
Well, it's funny how they've released some of the cruise line shows on YouTube. But why?
Oh yeah, Charlotte's watched Rapunzel.
Well, I don't remember which one it was. It was either Beauty and the Beast or Rapunzel, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" And I put it on, and they just narrated over it the entire time. And they're like,
"Beauty and the Beast."
Yeah, and then they're like, and then Belle sings about her town, and I'm like, "So let her sing about it."
Yeah, Tangled has that is the whole show. That's on. That's on.
Yeah, Charlotte.
I've seen the Beauty and the Beast on the Beauty and the Beast show. And it's really good. It's like a mashup. I
wish I could just see a full thing of it though, because it was really weird having just the narrator all over it. It's
like they took the live action movie, the Broadway show, and the animated movie, and sort of mashed them all up.
Yeah.
And actually pulled off a pretty good show. So.
All right, fam. I think we're gonna wrap things up here and get on out of here. We touched on everything, I believe. Everybody in the chat. Michael, thank you again. We appreciate Coaster FAQs for subscribing to the channel. And as always, Kim. Yeah, everybody. Thank you once again for hanging out, chatting with us. Our first podcast of 2021. We're going to continue on this bi-weekly process, I think, for now. And just kind of take things at a slow pace here and see how things go this year. As far as because there's not much going on right now. Let's be honest. As far as theme parks go, there's not a whole lot of new stuff going on. So we're gonna stick with this bi-weekly process and see how things go. So, anyways, I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Bear, you got some YouTube videos up on the YouTube channel, so why don't you tell people about those?
Plug.
Do that plug.
Yes, do the plug thing. We're at ThrillGeek on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page, youtube.com/ThrillGeek. We've got a couple more of Disney World holiday videos. We didn't get everything, but we got a lot of stuff. But we finally got the castle projections up there, and hopefully we'll have a new vlog up there soon. I sort of took a break. ThrillGeek.com for the latest in theme park and pop culture news. And, of course, you are listening to the ThrillGeek Podcast. Wherever you can get a podcast, you can get the ThrillGeek Podcast. Stop being annoying.
That's my job.
It is your job.
That's why I was put on this earth. Yeah. So, anyways, Emily, thank you once again for joining us.
You're welcome. I live here.
Did you say you live here?
Yeah.
Well, she technically does live where she's at.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you do live in your state of residence. So, anyways, so Michael, thanks again for hanging out, man. We always appreciate you hanging out with us.
I may or may not be still living here next time. Who knows?
That's why I said I clarified. I live here. Barry has no idea.
I don't know where I'll be living within the next month. So,
all right. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
see you in the parks.
Bye.
All right.
What was that demon noise?
What was that noise? Yeah.
Oh, it's because Barry disconnects everything at the end of the podcast and it sounds evil.
Yeah, Michael, when exactly are you moving to Florida? When are you moving down here to this beautiful sunshine state?
Swamp. Oh.
I mean, you don't have to give me the exact date, but I always see you posting that you're moving down here. Do you know when you're moving down?
Now I'm on Epic Games, Barry, because I want to know what they got from me. I have a coupon waiting for me. What?
Oh, gosh.
He's a
Wiener
puppy.
dog.
He's a puppy boy.
Wiener dog.
Peachy weeshy.
I'm surprised. I don't think Bungie's in here.
How do you not know where your dog is?
Sometimes he passes out in here, and I just close the door to the office, and he's in here snoring away.
I was about to say, you don't know if Bungie's not in the room because you can hear him.
Yeah, I would audibly be able. I'd probably be able. These microphones are pretty good.
Oh no, because when we watched him, James was like, "Can Bungie go anywhere else right now?" And I was like, "He wants to sleep in here
Poor
with
Bungie.
us." And poor Bungie just like.
I love that dog. I don't know how much time he's got left on this earth, but he's a sweet puppy.
He's a nice boy. Besides
Michael.
Dexter.
Yeah, Michael says within the next few weeks. That's cool.
Welcome to the swamp.
Welcome to the swamp.
Me every time I go outside.
Yeah. Well, at least you'll be moving down here when the weather is somewhat decent.
Somewhat. I moved in the middle of summer. Not the best decision. Wanted to die.
Well, Michael, when you get down here and if you get any annual passes or anything, we'll definitely say hi to you one day in the parks and hang out. Say hello. I need to get some more ThrillGeek handout. What?
Barry's just throwing buttons at everyone.
Yeah, Barry will give you some ThrillGeek goodies that I need to get back on. I've been thinking about making. I had a vinyl sticker made for the car on Etsy, and the girl that runs the shop, she's really cool. She said if I needed anything, and I was like, maybe you can
be like, ma'am, we need to get rid of the buttons before we think about that.
I guess we should do another giveaway because we got so much crap again that we need to get rid of.
My giveaway bucket.
Remember that one time you gave someone just like a bag of random like things, like little dinosaur figures and like park maps and lanyards.
Oh yeah, where was that? Where did I do that giveaway? Was that on?
No, that was to a person that we knew.
I don't remember.
The holiday party last
I remember
year.
I remember the
giveaway on my Twitter once.
I remember the giveaway, but I don't remember who or what it was for.
We did the white elephant thing last year, and
oh yeah,
getting like fun treats and gift cards, and then Clint's like, "Here's a pack of dinosaur toys," and I was like, "I'm so glad I never picked that one."
And some random park maps or something. It was like all sorts of theme park randomness.
I was like, Clint just walked into the room and was like, "What can I throw in a bag?"
I don't remember, but yeah, it was all sorts of randomness.
Karma.
Yeah. That was funny.
It was funny.
That was
I still
pretty
think
funny.
about that sometimes.
Oh gosh, that was pretty funny.
And then like Barry and Sin were like, "Hey Emily, last choice. See this really big box? It's yours now." And it was just popcorn, and I was happy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I genuinely thought they did get me a dog though, so I was like, this box is big enough, and it ain't moving, so who knows? That was fun. Maybe next year we can.
Remember when we could all be in the same room? You remember that? You remember that?
I mean, instead this year we all were in the same room at Horror Night's house.
Those memories.
To grab it.
For what? It's hard to hear you.
I said I need to keep forgetting when I go over there to get my good mic back. It's from this crappy thing.
This one? Yeah.
The one that's next to you that belongs to me.
The one that's sitting over there.
Like you guys don't live like 10 minutes from each other? Okay.
He just forgets, Emily. It's a lot for him. He has such a busy life. Every time I see Barry, he's taking a nap.
Barry's like, "Take these freaking cookies. Goodbye. Must leave."
I was on my break.
See?
Those
Barry
Gideon,
really loves us. I swear he does.
Those Gideon's cookies are good, though. Man, those are good.
James like was walking around earlier with like a huge chunk of it, and I was like, "Do you not like yourself? Are you trying to give yourself food poisoning, sir?"
I hate my life.
I was surprised because he doesn't like sweets, and he ate the whole white chocolate cookie, and then he's like breaking off chunks of this thing, and I'm like, "Who are you?"
We were down to the last little maybe about last little portion of the chocolate chip one, and I cut off a piece and I bit into it, and it was like, I don't know, because they are salty because they put salt on them.
Salt. Yeah.
And it felt like I like took a bite out of like a salt brick. It was disgusting. I was like,
yeah, it's weird. It like depends on what bite you.
I was not ready for that. I was like, oh, delicious Gideon's cookie. Oh no way! I ate like a really salty potato chip. It was really weird.
What I do too, at least with them, because I've just learned by now, is I usually pick like 75% of that off before I ever eat it to begin with. Because it's too much.
I just love, and I didn't get to really talk about this during the podcast. I love how they're like, it's like eating like cookie dough. Like it's really weird. Like they're cooked, but it's like cookie dough. It's really bizarre.
I like keeping them for like a week and then eating it because it kind of like congeals. It sounds weird, but like it gets firmer.
Yeah,
so it actually tastes like a cookie.
The original chocolate chip I feel is like that, where a lot of the other cookies like. It doesn't feel as uncooked as
that like I said, I looked at all their specialty ones, and that Mexican chocolate one with the
it's so good.
Is it? That one sounds really good. I was like,
we also will sometimes make a cake version of that.
Oh God,
that cake is
James's favorite. Yeah,
their Halloween one with the M&Ms that looks kind of the Frankenstein or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That was probably the sweetest, most sugar one because it's got everything in it.
It looks like it. It's like got M&Ms and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that one's kind of too much for me.
That looked like overkill. But no, there was some of the like the monthly specialty ones looked. I can't remember off the top of my head which ones they were, but some of the specialty ones look really cool and really.
And that the coffee cake one that's the exclusive there. That cookie is very very good.
I haven't had that one yet, so
Connor,
I think I'm gonna get that.
Connor, he's got this weird obsession with the Starbucks coffee cake, and I'll have to get that one so Connor can try it, because he's got this weird obsession with the Starbucks coffee cake.
I mean,
Vivint just replied to my email about their salesman going away.
Oh no!
They said, "Can you DM us your address so we can follow up with the manager in your area?"
Because you just gotta send more.
But
people
I was
my
legit. This Vivint, I think it's been the same guy. They want to sell me like their smart home security stuff, and I'm like, just no, stop.
Just leave me alone.
And it's literally been like 4 times in the last month they've come to my house. And I'm like, no, I'm doing my home. I got the Ring doorbell and I got the Ring floodlight. I'm doing my own, smart home thing. Leave me alone, please. And me being the super nice guy, this guy's out. We literally got home from my parents' house and I opened up the back of the van and this guy comes up on a one of those hoverboard scooter things. And he's like, hey. And he starts his whole pitch of, we want to put our Vivint sign out in your front yard and we'll give you one of these free smart home things in return. And I'm like, okay, no. And I've got my arms full of toys. I've got kids getting out of the van. This dude's got his mask down around his chin and he's like right in my face. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Anyways, that was, and it just, it ticked me off. I'm like, just stop,
It's just
and
a little much.
It's mind-blowing, too, the solar people that we have coming in our neighborhood. We live on a corner lot, and our solar panels are clearly visible from pretty much anywhere walking around our house, and we still have solar people coming up to our house. Hey, would you be interested in solar? I'm like, hey, did you look at our roof?
Excuse me, sir. Would you like
salesman.
a ladder?
Yeah. But no, this Vivint guy set me off and I was like, are you kidding me? Cheryl walked by and she was like, hey, can you straight up just attitude hey, can you put your mask on, please? And I was like, watch out.
I just don't there was somebody and I forget who it was. I think they were honestly trying to hit on me when I was trying to leave IOA one day, and he's like, hey, can I ask you a question? And I was like, sure. And he just goes, I'm like, can you not do that? That'd be great. And
he pulled his mask down?
Yeah, and I'm like, I can hear you just fine. We're doing great.
It's like the people that pull their mask down when they're talking
My favorite is when they push it away from their mouth, but it's still attached to their ears. So I'm like, cool. So you just caused yourself physical pain because you're dumb.
Oh,
you got
people
that going
amaze
for
me.
You.
But no, like today, I went and I got my hair cut, and I took Jordan and Connor to go get their hair cut, and the lady sitting next to me with her mask on, somebody calls her. And she takes her mask off just to talk on the phone. I'm like,
number one, you already have the phone up to your ear, so there's a gazillion germs to begin with.
Yeah. I'm like, you do realize they can
hear you.
Hear you through they can hear you.
The amount of times I've walked around in a park by myself and my mom's FaceTimed me and I just have my little earbud in and my little AirPod and I got my mask on. I got the AirPod, which is not the greatest speaker communication device, and she can hear me just fine. So if I can do it in a busy theme park,
it's amazing.
So can you.
I don't understand it. We've been in this pandemic so long, and
today we went to the Winter Garden and Farmers Market just to kind of walk around and do things, and that's where I found my cute little baby Grogu macaroons.
I saw that. Did you buy some?
Yeah, they were at Blueberry. They were very good. They were fresh too, so perfect.
Awesome.
But as we're walking in the farmer's market, they have a sign hey, please, for your health and safety, wear a mask. And they literally have a distributor of the medical mask.
Yeah.
And there's still people walking around without one. And it's so you're just, excuse my French, I'm like, so you're just an asshole then.
Yeah.
You're just an asshole when it's literally a sign. They're giving you a free one.
Yeah.
And you still refuse. Like, if you maybe go somewhere that's, like, somewhere affiliated, not going to say who.
Yeah.
And, like, that's a thing, and everybody has their mask off, whatever. Like, if that's what you choose to do, I can't stop you. If you literally go somewhere where there's a sign, they're trying to give you one, and you still refuse to,
Yep.
maybe you shouldn't be there.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, anyways.
I just want to be safe. I don't want to die.
Yeah. And it's just about taking precautions, you know. That's all it comes down to. So, anyways, I'm going to wrap up the live chat here, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, as always. And we'll see you guys on the next one, all right? Be safe. And as we just talked about, wear a mask. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.